They were Hollywood's picture-perfect power couple until a storm of leaks shattered their flawless facade.
So this petition really wants to kick Justin Baldoni out of Hollywood based on some allegations that has not been backed up by any receipts or any evidence yet.
From suspicious lawsuits to bizarre voice memos, every new revelation seems more shocking than the last. At the heart of it all is one of Tinseltown's most powerful figures, Ari Emanuel.
Bad situation that Bologna, Baldoni, whatever his name is doing.
We've secured the full recording of his leaked interview and enhanced its clarity so you can catch every explosive word. Stick around until the very end to hear it for yourself. You won't believe what he reveals. Things took a turn for the bizarre when alleged voice memos of Ryan Reynolds started popping up online. At first, these clips seemed genuinely shocking, threatening messages for actor-director Justin Baldoni, a man he apparently wanted to see blacklisted from the industry. People across social media were stunned. Was Ryan really that vindictive, or was there more to the story? It didn't take long for experts to declare these so-called voice memos fake, very likely generated by AI.
I gotta start with this Ryan Reynolds voicemail, these Justin Baldoni voice memos that have leaked that so many of you guys have sent to me. You gotta report this in, you gotta report on this. Here's the video in question.
Justin, maybe you need to stop talking about my wife's weight.
What is your problem, Ryan?
The big question was, who stood to gain from pushing out these fraudulent recordings? If they were so obviously fake, wouldn't that only give Ryan more ammunition to discredit real, incriminating evidence that might be floating around? It raised red flags, leaving many convinced that these memos were just a ploy to muddy the waters. But that was only the start. More leaks soon emerged.
Harassment thing is just not making any sense. After working for this film for almost 2 years, together collaborating, text messages, voice memos, getting along.
And the deeper we looked, the uglier it got. But that was just the tip of a much bigger iceberg. Among the whirlwind of rumors, one drama stood out. Ari Emanuel, CEO of Hollywood's influential WME agency, appeared on the Freakonomics podcast. During this interview, Emanuel dropped some choice words about Justin Baldoni, calling him names, and revealing he had fired Baldoni at the urging of Ryan and Blake. It was a shocking admission, especially from someone as powerful as Ari Emanuel. Then came the real head-scratcher. For the first time in the show's history, no official audio, no video, a total blackout.
Let me explain. Last Thursday, on February 13th, we were scheduled to do a live Freakonomics radio show at the Wilshire Ebell Theater in Los Angeles.
After 15 years of flawless production, it seemed like a suspiciously convenient time for a technical glitch to strike.
There is no sound coming out of the speakers, and then when I look out from behind the curtain, I see there are no people in the seats either. So what's happening? It turns out that the theater's PA system had crashed.
Yet, an enterprising journalist managed to leak the audio anyway. Emanuel could be heard slinging insults and bragging about his ride-or-die loyalty to the lively Reynolds power couple.
And what was your role? Did you fire him as a fireman? I'm a ride or die. And they're good people.
He made it all sound like an open and shut decision. He had fired Baldoni because Ryan and Blake demanded it. The so-called missing podcast only confirmed the length some people might go to in order to shield Hollywood A-listers from bad press. But fake recordings weren't the only surprise in store. In the aftermath of that leaked audio, the conversation turned to how deeply Ryan and Blake, or their team, were prepared to manipulate public opinion. Suddenly, suspiciously well-produced Ryan Reynolds meltdown clips began circulating, clips that, to the trained ear, were laughably synthetic. Online skeptics pounced, pointing out telltale signs of AI generation. Nobody fell for it.
Guys, it's not Justin. It's clear AI. In fact, it's so clear AI that I actually went to the source. A source familiar with both sides confirms to Popcorn Planet this is AI and not Justin. There's no need for AI. The Baldoni team have more than enough real, factual evidence to show the depravity of Lively and her team's all-out lies without needing the assistance of AI programs.
In fact, the stunt practically backfired, making it look like someone was deliberately releasing phony evidence to discredit any genuine leaks. If Ryan and Blake were truly behind it, and let's be clear, that's still speculation, they must have been desperate. By planting bogus stories, they could later claim, "See, that's more fake news. Don't trust anything you hear." The result was chaos. Media outlets didn't know what to report as truth. Fans started taking sides. And in the background, the real scandal, the actual accusations about blacklisting, intimidation, and questionable legal moves, kept growing more intense. But the courtroom battles would get even messier. Blake Lively, once seen as a poised and polished star, made a startling request in a legal filing. She wanted 2.5 years of Justin Baldoni's personal data, including messages, emails, and possibly even location details. It was a sweeping subpoena that baffled everyone following the case. Critics viewed it as a blatant fishing expedition, suggesting Blake had no solid evidence and was hoping to stumble upon something incriminating. The judge, unimpressed by such overreach, flatly denied the request. It was a resounding blow to Blake's legal strategy. Suddenly, the narrative shifted. Instead of being perceived as a victim seeking justice, Lively looked like someone desperately grasping at straws. The question became clear. If she had real receipts and a bulletproof claim, why attempt to build a case backwards? Why dig through years of someone else's digital footprint unless you were hoping to find something, anything, to back up allegations you couldn't prove on your own? Everyone has heard of celebrities weaponizing the courts, but this was an especially brazen attempt. It seemed the carefully controlled veneer Blake had projected for so many years was slipping. The public got a glimpse of a star who might be more ruthless than anyone suspected. Still, her courtroom troubles paled in comparison to what came next. Just when you thought it couldn't get any stranger, TMZ jumped into the fray. Seemingly, out of nowhere, they dug up a lawsuit from 2021 involving Baldoni, a dispute that had already been settled, with zero liability pinned on him. Yet TMZ's coverage made it sound like a fresh bombshell, dropping ominous hints and painting Baldoni in a questionable light. The story gained traction for about 5 minutes, until the lawyer behind that old lawsuit publicly clarified that Baldoni had done nothing wrong. In fact, he praised Baldoni's ethics. The revelation deflated the drama, but it left a lingering impression that someone had tipped off TMZ, hoping to spark a negative headline against Baldoni at precisely the moment Blake and Ryan needed a distraction. Suddenly, nobody trusted mainstream gossip coverage. If shady PR moves were in play, how many other breaking stories might have been engineered or exaggerated? Yet not even that cheap shot was the end of their campaign. If threatening phone calls, AI deepfakes, and shady TMZ articles weren't enough, an online petition popped up. This petition demanded that SAG-AFTRA and the Producers Guild of America ban Justin Baldoni from working in Hollywood. The entire thing looked suspiciously amateur and reeked of petty vindictiveness. Fans were puzzled. How do you go from big-budget legal battles to a random online petition? The shift felt borderline absurd. Yet, here it was, fueling headlines for a brief stint. Many pointed fingers at Ryan's signature style. He's famously known for pranks and edgy humor.
Ryan Reynolds was spotted in New York City yesterday in what is the most obviously staged paparazzi shoot I have ever seen in my entire life. One, why does it look like every single poster in this video is made by the same person? The exact same tape, and they were all using the exact same fucking marker. Also, when you watch the video, not a single phone in sight. It's 2025. If you are waiting outside of a hotel to meet your favorite celebrity, you are obviously going to have your phone because you want to take a selfie. And I think we all know by now that celebrities call the paparazzi on themselves like all the time. And I think it's kind of funny and honestly a little bit offensive that Ryan Reynolds actually thought we were all going to fall for this. I mean, come on.
Could this have been one of those stunts taken too far? Or was it yet another attempt to degrade Baldoni's reputation by any means necessary? Whoever orchestrated it, the petition only served to confirm one thing. There was a clear effort to ruin Baldoni's standing in Hollywood. And the timing, dropping just as Blake's case started crumbling, was too perfect to be a coincidence. But the drama wasn't confined to their battles with Baldoni. While Blake fought her legal war on one front, Ryan got hit by a wave of renewed scrutiny on another. An old talk show clip resurfaced where Ryan joked in vivid detail about removing actress Olivia Wilde's top on set, while 65 crew members looked on, and then getting distracted by the stickers on her chest. The audience giggled at the time, but in today's climate, the story sounded far less comedic and more like a confession of misconduct. To add a thick layer of irony, these revelations broke while Blake Lively was accusing Justin Baldoni of creating an uncomfortable environment for her. Here was Ryan, bragging about a scene that, under any normal workplace policy, would be called extremely inappropriate at best.
And she has the, those pasties on.
Right.
But she's drawn these adorable little smiley faces on them. And I forget every line in the scene. Not just from this movie, from every other movie I've done. And I don't really know what I'm sort of going up. I'm nervous, I'm blithering on about nothing. And at some point in the scene, she takes my hands and puts them on.
Critics called out the double standard. How can Blake claim moral high ground if her husband is on record describing borderline humiliating antics with a co-star? And then there was the behind-the-scenes gossip about Blake herself. Crew members from her film The Rhythm Section came forward to describe her as rude and impossible to please. Others said she avoided eye contact, kept a bodyguard around even in closed settings, and gave everyone the impression she believed she was far too good to engage with the people making her movie happen. These weren't just random Twitter rants either. Some commentary came from individuals who had legitimate industry credentials. The more people shared their experiences, the clearer it became. The sweet, approachable image Blake had cultivated. For the cameras might have been a facade, with their polished public images unraveling. It only got stranger. The onslaught of allegations painted a damning picture. One moment, Ryan and Blake were charming interview darlings, bantering about everything from parenthood to pet projects. The next, they appeared to be behind hush-hush blacklisting campaigns, fake audio leaks, questionable lawsuits, and hypocritical stances on workplace behavior. Every time they tried to regain control of the narrative, it backfired spectacularly. The missing Freakonomics audio that reappeared anyway, the deepfake voice memos that only discredited themselves, the lawsuit demanding years of private data that got swatted down, the smear campaign that got instantly debunked, and the petition to ban Baldoni that seemed too ridiculous to be taken seriously. Fans who'd once adored the couple were now questioning how genuine Ryan and Blake really were. Industry pros started talking, anonymously for fear of backlash, about the controlling nature of their behind-the-scenes deals. Even powerful figures like Ari Emanuel couldn't fully sanitize the fiasco, especially after his leaked comments turned him into a secondary villain of the saga. Their golden couple illusion had cracked wide open, revealing a scramble to maintain power at all costs. In their quest to shield themselves, they only further exposed the manipulative tactics that had kept them at the top for so long. And by this point, there was no turning back. In the end, all the leaked tapes, legal showdowns, and frantic PR spins may have done something no one expected. They stripped Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds of their untouchable Hollywood status, forcing people to see them as far more calculated than their easygoing facade suggests. From rumored AI-generated voice memos to questionable lawsuits and hush-hush deals, their once beloved brand now stands on shaky ground. It might be tempting to dismiss the entire scandal as just another celebrity meltdown, but maybe there's a bigger lesson lurking beneath the tabloid headlines. If two of Hollywood's most likable stars could orchestrate smear campaigns, engineer blacklisting, and push the boundaries of decency, what does that say about the industry as a whole? And how many more powerful players are wielding their influence in ways we'd never suspect? This story may feel over the top, but in an era where every leaked memo can upend careers in the blink of an eye, it highlights one universal truth. Even the brightest stars can fall, so keep your eyes open. And remember that the tidiest celebrity image might be covering a mountain of secrets just waiting to spill. After all, no matter how well you hide the skeletons in your closet, all it takes is one little crack for everything to tumble out.
I wonder if you could tell us about a little bit of a mess that I gather you've been involved in.
Oh, yeah. I know where you're going with this one.
Do you have notes on it?
Oh, yeah. Those are the two things I said to myself. This could come up.
Okay, it's about. So I have to admit, I don't keep up that much on Hollywood. But even I caught wind of the Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds. Let the record show for those listening at home, Ari just slit his throat.
I mean, it's a fucked up, bad situation that Bologna, Baldoni, whatever his name is doing. And it's part of it.
Now, he was your client too, until recently.
Yeah, until I fired him.
Right.
You know,
Just give a little bit of the backstory.
It's not really fair. I've known Ryan and Blake for over a decade. They're really incredible people. In Hollywood, they have been incredibly successful. People work with them. They've never had any bad mojo out there and treated people badly. They kind of are charitable because we help them with their foundation. They've given tons of money away. If what is alleged in her lawsuit that happened on social media, just because she complained to the studio that things were unhealthy on the set, that he was director and this man was the producer, and they did to her what they're being alleged, they're really bad people. And Blake, I know Blake, I know Ryan, they're actually good people. Now, social media is a really good thing at times because it lets people, stars, connect with their fans. But these two guys used it in an evil way, if that's true. And we just have to be cognizant that you can root, and they should no longer be out there intimidating people, using social media now and trying to hurt them and using their what they have been doing prior to it now to go against them. They should just stop since they think they're innocent and let the process play itself out. These are good people that have been in business for decades and have never had any bad press about them, and all the people they work with like them. And so, if it's true what they're saying in that allegation, these are two bad guys.
This concerns the making of a film where there's sex scenes and there's, I guess, what is called in Hollywood an intimacy coordinator.
They bring that up. I mean, and then they went after him on social media. It's disgusting.
Can I just say this is very juvenile, but when I first read that and I knew I was going to be talking to you, I was wondering, I was trying to picture like Ari Emanuel on set as an intimacy coordinator. Is that a role, a job you?
No, I mean,
well?
It's actually not a joke. I mean, that's actually an important role. She felt that she was not being protected. She complained, and then these people tried to go after her. They should stop. And they're still trying to do what's good, and they should stop.
And what was your role? Did you fire him as a
I fired him. I'm a ride or die. And they're good people.
Yeah. All right. I know you have a plane to get on. Do you want to tell us where you're going, by any chance?
I'm going to the 50th anniversary of SNL. I can't wait.
Yeah.